Hey, what's happening? You're live with the Toe Bugs. I'm joined tonight with Angel Rios.
Hey guys,
What's happening, man?
not much, man. Just enjoying this one cool day out of. Well, hopefully we have more of these, but this is very like nobody expected this today. We had a
Yeah,
little bit of rain, little bit of wind, and it is so cool right now. We're in the 80s, and I can't believe it because it's 5 o'clock. We should be well above 100 right now.
that's amazing. I can't believe it's that cool.
Yeah,
We've
this
been
is
steadily in the upper 90s,
yeah,
which
and
it can be worse, but it could be a lot better too.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, what kind of boots you wearing today?
Well, since I am doing some work, I told you I was, hammering away at this cement and trying to widen my RV gate. I'm wearing my Nicks, the dusty Nicks Urban Loggers,
Oh, okay.
and just because they give me just incredible grip, and I don't have to worry about any
Yeah,
other they gave me the most stability out of all my boots. These right here give me the most stability, so
gotcha.
I chose those.
Well, I was wearing the Ruho Roscoe. They're square-toed boot. It's a
Very
three-piece
nice.
vamp, but
It's
it's
like
a
a dark
nice
brown
boot,
color,
man.
or is
No,
that
it's
black?
black,
Okay.
but I really like this boot. It's really comfortable. It's
Yeah,
a really nice hide they use too. Very
the
soft.
double stitch I really like. I really a
Yeah,
fan of.
yeah,
Yeah, I was commenting on a lot of their posts this last week. Just their just their boots. They make some nice boots. It looks like
yeah. They got some new styles coming out soon too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So I'm excited to see them. I mean, I've seen a couple of quick pictures, but nothing to really get a good feel for it. So
Okay.
I'm pretty excited. So we were going to talk about well, not just cowboy boots, but boot websites. And this comes up in our little group every once in a while just because there's some that are really good and there's some that are terrible.
Yeah.
And not only the website, but we comment quite a bit on these boot companies' social media of who's actually using social media and who's not. And it seems like kind of a good old boy network where they've been doing the same thing for 100 years, and I don't know that they don't want to change, or maybe they just don't see the value in changing. You know, I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked to any of them. I'm just guessing, but
Yeah. Well, the one constant thing is change. So
that's
you
right.
gotta expect it. You gotta prepare it and be open to it.
So I am going to share my screen right now.
Hey, Carol. Hey, Mark. How you guys doing? Hello, Rebecca. How are you?
Okay, so
Lucchese.
is that
Ooh,
showing
that's
Lucchese?
shaft. Yeah, that's a nice picture. Right
Yeah,
away. That right away. First impressions is, damn, those are some really good looking shafts.
yeah, I agree. This one with the green top on it really speaks to me. I love green.
Yeah, me too. Definitely.
And let me just make this the full screen. There we go. But I don't know. Right off the bat, you got your categories at the top, like most standard websites. This so far, looking at this reminds me of the Boot Barn website. And I don't really know exactly why. I think it's the really good pictures and like this being all white.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
Yeah.
What did I have? I had like 5 bullets for each.
Okay.
We can just to kind of keep us on track. So ease of navigation. Guys, listen up. So I put some bullets. We're gonna do ease of navigation. Do they have a search bar? Do they have any custom build options?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have microfinancing options for payment method?
Right.
And just we can each comment on like what boot kind of spoke to us the most for the short amount of time that we were on the website.
Right.
Because a lot of times with the website is like I said, the first impression was this boot here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I gotta say that rainbow colored tulips on the shaft. I mean, it's an attractive boot. It's not something I'd wear, but it's attractive for sure. And then that green one right next to it with that contrast of the
Yeah,
light and the darks in the shaft, that's very attractive. So right
yeah,
away, I think they did a pretty decent job of kind of getting your attention.
I agree. I would wear that green one for sure.
Yeah, me too. Definitely.
I mean, I'm not big on tulips, but just the contrast and everything, I think it's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sharp.
And they got, it looks like there's seven toe back there. Definitely seven toe on the front.
Yeah,
What's the
looks
back? It
like,
looks like either a snip or a seven.
yeah. Well, right off the bat, they do have a search bar right here. So they
Okay.
get a good point for that
All right.
right here. I don't, this doesn't show my cursor, does it?
Yeah, I
Uh,
see it. I
oh,
see
you
it.
do?
Yeah,
Okay, right there.
it's right next to my cursor.
And then not sure what this Frontier Tech tab is. Okay, this looks like work boots. That's nice, showing you all the different features, with a
Virtual
cutaway.
shoulder. Yeah, yeah. And that's those are their work boots, you said?
Well, that's what it looks like,
Oh
with this
yeah, the
kind of
Frontier
sole
Tech.
on it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And then it says it comes with 2 sets of insoles.
Oh really?
Hmm.
Two sets of removable, replaceable insoles allow the wearer to create a custom fit whether they have a wide or regular width foot. That's cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. You don't see that too often, you know.
No, not at all.
Usually they give you a removable one, so it's like, oh, wear it or no, don't wear
Yep.
it.
I'm going to go back to the home page because I wanted to point something out. You've got a tab for men and women and accessories and all this, which is good. But if we scroll down, they have some like featured boots right here, which is their top sellers, it says.
Okay.
Right here looks like the design option.
Okay.
But what I wanted to point out is at the bottom, you can also click on men's and women's here as well. So that's pretty cool that they have it in multiple locations, the men's and women's section.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
But let's go to this design and build it and see what this is about. Choose a profile. Let's just click Western. Okay, here we go. Choose the toe. Let's go with a 7-toe. Heel. Let's do a 4. So I'll say this. It is custom options, but you're not given that many options on each one.
Right.
So like here, you can only choose calf or full quill ostrich. They gave you 2 toes and 2 heels to choose from. There's 3 colors.
And that's just the vamp, so that's good.
Yeah, and look, it's updating it as I do it. So that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
This is like something I mentioned before. I wanted it just like this. Like when you go to when you're shopping for cars online and you go to the Chevy page, you can build the car you want and then it shows you.
So what's the Lewis cord and what's the Vaughn cord?
Okay, there's Lewis cord,
Okay.
which is this pattern.
Decorative stitching.
Vaughn is more like their classic cording, kind of what like Tacovas and a lot of other brands have modeled theirs after. I think I like the Vaughn better.
Yeah, I think I do too, for this one at least.
And the shaft, you only have one option, Buffalo.
Reporter, Buffalo.
Whatever reporter.
Yeah. Are you seeing
shaft color? Let's do black cherry and see what happens. Oh, that's kind of cool looking.
That's the
that's black cherry.
Oh yeah.
Here's black. Dark brown. Okay, so on this, I'm just choosing the top color, but it's
changing the whole boot.
Yeah.
What I do like, and we're going to touch on some other websites, but I've seen some other websites where it's like this is an actual photograph, so it actually shows you what the boot will actually look like.
Right.
Where there's
Yeah.
other brands that do, and they go into every little detail, but
Yeah.
it's more of a digital rendering of it, and it helps, but it just it limits the ability to show you like what it's really going to look like.
Right. Soul color. Let's go dark mahogany. I don't know. Some of the options kept changing this to black.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And that's kind of,
maybe that's
I
just
don't want black vamp color. I want barnwood. So I had to go back and change it back to the color I wanted. So nice idea. It does have a couple of little glitches to it though.
Yeah. And I guess that's to be expected, especially with so many different.
Yeah. It's still nicer than 99% of the custom option portions I've seen out there.
So they hit 3. What's the fourth one? And okay, and then the last one was, well, the fourth one is, do they have micro financing as an option, like a certain, like different payment methods rather than coughing up your credit card?
Let's see.
I know a lot of the newer brands are giving you the option to use Afterpay or Quad Pay.
Yeah. I'm not seeing anything that says that, and I don't want to fill all this out with my info.
What though? I think especially because of the price.
Yeah.
Those microfinancing, they usually still stay well below.
Oh, you know what? In Vimeo one, what is that?
I don't know. That's a video. That's almost like a YouTube.
Shows you my age. I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, I don't want to fill all this out, but usually if they do have it at the bottom, it'll say something about payment options.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to guess they don't have it.
All right. So they get a 3 out of 4. I guess a 3 out of 4.
I thought there was 5 bullets, just 4.
Well, actually, the fifth one was just kind of like us commenting what boot kind of.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, and we did that here. So, and for ease of navigation, I think this it's everything I would want.
Yeah, it's definitely easy enough, and I think that's all we're looking for. Easy enough.
All right, so now we're going to move on to Ariat.
Because getting a really good website, they're not cheap. So
no, not at all. That's why some people will complain about small business websites, and I'm like, you have no idea how much you're either spending tons of money to have somebody build it, or you build it yourself. And it's just
my buddy Ryan. He owns a small business that does shoelaces, Pisgah range laces, and he ordered a belt from me, and he's like, "Hey, just so you know, this is out of place, and this is here, and this is there."
Yeah.
So, I was like, "Yeah, I know it."
Yeah.
It's just gonna take some time for me to want to change it.
And I designed one website years ago, and it was just a lot of trial and error. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't impossible, but it took me for freaking ever to get it where I was even halfway satisfied with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, if you don't have that kind of background, it's a big learning curve trying to do it, like anything else.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is my current website. That's my second website that I've ever, like e-commerce site that I've ever had. So
yeah, see, I've never even done a commerce site. It was for a gaming organization that me and my buddy put together, where we played Call of Duty, and we put together a traveling team and sent them places to play and everything. So I built a website for that. And it ended up being pretty cool, but it was just off of a template, Yeah.
And that's what I do too, using templates. Luckily they're, Shopify and mostly like GoDaddy, they have lots of templates to make it easy. So
all right, so now we're on Ariat. And again, what jumps out to me is they do have a search bar right here, other than this badass picture. But no boots in the picture. So,
right.
so, but they do have your navigation up here, which is very clear what you're getting into.
And they have a clearance section too, which is nice.
They do.
A lot of people are like going straight for that clearance section. I've been there plenty of times.
I still do it. I mean,
definitely.
You never know what they're going to have in there.
Yep.
I'm all about saving money.
Absolutely.
Here, kind of like the Lucchese site, they've got best sellers, but obviously Ariat offers, a full clothing line and a bunch of accessories as well.
Right. Yeah.
That Lucchese doesn't really do.
Summer, our science, your comfort. So they got some. Looks like they have some articles on the different things like their apparel and maybe.
I think let's see. I think this will take you just to purchase it. Yeah. So this is made for the English writing style, equestrian.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess this is their line for, I don't know, doing equestrian, whatever you call it. I don't know. If we go back, this says just summer tees and jeans and stuff. Okay. So I know a little bit more about this, shorts and shirts.
Yeah. It looks a little generic just because of the white background.
Yeah, I agree.
At the same time, it makes it easy to navigate. So
yeah, and it makes the picture, since it's a white background on the website and a white background on the photo, the shirts and everything really pop.
Yeah, so definitely.
But I agree. On the other hand, it does look a little bit generic. Is this the boot hunter modeling these pictures?
Yeah, right. The boots.
That looks like what he would wear.
Definitely.
All right.
Oh man, I got to tell you just real quick. When I was hanging out with Boot Hunter this weekend, and what was it, Saturday night into Sunday, we were on his patio of his mountain house.
Yeah.
It's like cougar territory, like mountain lion territory. And we were just talking about it, and like maybe 30 minutes passed, and we just we're talking, and we stopped talking for it was 5 seconds of silence. And we heard like a crazy noise. And we're like, all right, that was 20 feet right there. What the hell? So I'm getting up, and I'm like, and we're in California, but I brought my firearm. I don't care.
Yeah.
I got my whole family with me. So
I'm not about to get eaten by a mountain.
I'm like, I walk up and I'm like, what was that? What the hell? And maybe I let some time go before I kind of go exploring. And I walked to the other end of the porch in the direction of that sound. I'm like, I could see the reflective eyes looking at me, maybe, 300 feet out. And I was like, so I start throwing rocks to see if the eyes move, and they moved.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. So, that was funny. But okay, so the next day, the neighbor comes over. Yeah, we've been losing our kittens left and right every night.
Oh wow!
Every night we lose another kitten. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. But
it does. My wife will be sad if she watches this. She loves cats. I do too. And we've got them as pets.
My daughter's a cat person too.
All right, so the front page is pretty good, I would say.
Yeah,
not amazing, but pretty good.
Yeah, looks like they have lots of categories too. That
let's just
make it easy to.
Okay, so we went to Western. Now you can choose boots, clothing, or accessories. Same as the other. It's kind of generic looking, but the white does make the boot really stand out.
Right, and the colors. So if you're looking for a certain color, you'll be drawn to that color much easier.
Let's jump down here to accessories. Oh, well, I didn't know they had a bunch of socks. I got a bunch of them. Yeah, damn. Belts, insoles.
Oh, they got square toe insoles. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their square toe boots come with a square toe insole.
Yeah, and Jeremiah Craig's got tons of feedback on all of his videos, on all
Yeah.
his Ariat reviews. He's got his favorites of like their different insoles
Yeah.
and the ones that he doesn't like so much.
Let's jump to the clearance section.
Yeah, clearance.
Go to footwear. See if there's anything I want to buy. That's a nice looking boot right there.
Yeah, that's not bad looking. The Latigo Western boot.
Yeah.
Nice orange color. It looks like they got some shoes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, ease of navigation, I would say a plus. Search bar plus.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really have a boot that stood out to me.
Yeah, me either. Do they have a microfinancing option?
Let's see. I don't believe so.
And they don't have a customizable option either.
No customizable option. So that's a 3 out of, well, no, a 2 out of 5, right?
Check. Did you go to the checkout and stuff and look to see if they have it?
Let's
Just
see.
click any boot and see if it has a.
No.
They have a pay. Oh, look,
Okay.
Afterpay. Go right up there. Afterpay. You see that?
Oh, they sure do. Right there.
Okay. So they get a. They're also they're 3 out of 4 also.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move to Tony Lama.
Actually, I'm sorry, 5. 4 out of 5. 3 out. Wait, 4 out of 5. Look at it, and you got 3 out of 5.
Okay. Tony Lama. Golly, these are all looking very similar. They're all white on white. This one, it doesn't have any like a cool picture or anything to kind of draw me in right off the bat.
Yeah, it's kind of just like right away. It's like, well,
you just jump right into it.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a sale tab, so that's good. Search bar up here.
Yeah, so it's not very appealing right away. It's kind of like walking into a Walmart, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is nice. You can choose your boot by toe shape. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or sort it by that, I guess you would say. You can go with the heel too, Western leather. So you have one option in a wide square toe with a
full quill
Western heel. What if I did that? And it didn't really. Let's see. Is there any other? See, this is. Oh, okay, here we go. See, to me, that's still a Stockman heel. That's not a Western heel.
Yeah, that's definitely like a Stockman or Roper.
Yeah, so
a big Roper Stockman. Yeah,
I guess they don't have any, which isn't uncommon. I mean, most wide square toes are a Stockman heel.
True. Yeah.
Let's try round.
Okay, so now you get some
Western. Okay, so this is more our speed. That's a good looking boot. Smooth ostrich. I like this toe shape. I like it when the medium round is leaning more towards round than pointed.
Yeah, like almost Roper, but not quite.
Yeah. Whereas, well, like I'll say this: the pair of Rujos I have, the Duke, I love everything about it except the toe is a little bit narrow for me. It's like close. This is closer to a Roper toe. It's closer to a J toe.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's just personal preference. I mean, a lot of people like the more narrow ones. And it seems like to me, going back, I won't say to the old days, but I know like growing up in the 70s and 80s, my dad's Lucchese's were more of a narrow, medium round toe.
Yeah.
I think some brands have kind of flared them out a little bit as time has gone by. And that may be after the popularity of the Roper,
Right, right.
could
No,
be.
definitely. Well, who brought the roper to light? Really, you said Justin really did. Really is the one.
Yeah, I'm not. I believe they kind of invented it. I'm not 100% sure on that, but they sold probably 3-1 to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it was because they offered exotics, but they also offered like 3 different scales of price range. So
It's almost
the
something
ones
for
that
everybody.
a lot of people wore, they were like $69, right? And it was just a very basic Roper boot, nothing to it, but it was very affordable and it was the style that was popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Where, Lucchese and everybody else made them as well. And I'm sure they were a lot better boot than the $69 Justins, but you know, uh,
That was
some people
pretty
aren't
insane,
interested
though.
in spending that much money and some people can't afford to spend that much money. You know what I
That-
mean?
yeah, and not in a bad way, but that was pretty. I was surprised to see just the options we chose for that Lucchese custom boot.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they seemed like nothing special, but as soon as you went into there, it was right at like $1,900
Right.
for the custom build. So it was like,
Yeah. And to me it wasn't all that custom.
yeah, yeah, it was.
I mean, yeah, you got to pick your shaft color and the vamp color, but you probably could find a very similar stock boot from
Yeah.
Lucchese for half that price.
Well, yeah, and not for nothing, but Rios does a lot of that stuff for a quarter of the price because that ended up being like a $2,000 boot. And
Right. And that
Rios,
was just ostrich.
yeah, like if you go through like Planet Cowboy, I know CJ has made a few custom ones with Planet Cowboy using Rios and Mercedes to as a manufacturer, and they're anywhere between like 500 and 700.
Right.
If you're doing, oh, of course, if you're doing a cowhide.
Right.
Um, so, and we did what we didn't we choose like ostrich full quill. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that should have jumped the price up that much, but of course, that's just my opinion.
I agree totally. To me, it wasn't as many custom options as I would want to justify that kind of price.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
So, so
So,
Tony Lama, very boring.
do they have a
Um,
microfinancing
oh,
option?
look at this. Now that I click the home, it's
They
got
heard
this.
you. You gotta mute your mic when you call them boring. Because like, hold on, let's wrap it up a bit.
Yeah,
Losing them.
but this is pretty cool. I like this.
Yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, if that would have been the first thing that showed up, that would have been a completely different first impression.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, maybe we'll give them that. Maybe
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I clicked
because
the
you have
wrong link
13
or
windows open.
something.
You have 13 windows open, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, I
It
may
could
have
be
clicked
took a little
straight
while.
to the boots, maybe when I Googled it. But that's cool. I like this. I
Right.
like that the best so far.
Yeah, the Craftsman. Absolutely.
And here's photos. This guy
How's their
looks very
how's their,
Tecovas esque to me.
so their apparel, is it Tony Lama or are they just selling other people's apparel, other brands' apparel?
Just hats.
Okay.
See what the women's is. Yeah.
Okay. Well, they got their hats. So.
Yeah. No real
No
apparel.
socks. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Um.
Let's see accessories. Maybe okay, belts, which they
Like,
do make good belts, by the way.
yeah, they look
Or
nice.
I mean, it's a
I
for
like the leather
the
belt, too.
price and what they are, a Western belt.
Yeah. What's the pricing on those? I didn't catch them.
45.
All right.
You
Yeah,
know,
for what they are, they definitely look.
for that price range, I think they're a pretty decent belt. I've owned a few of them.
Can you go back to where they had the two categories, the men and women? You see, like the picture of the gentleman there. Those look like some nice boots he's wearing.
Yeah.
It's like, what boots are they? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So ease of navigation, I think they get it.
Yeah, that for sure. And now that we're on this page, which I guess I screwed up the first time, I like you know, it's not a boot that grabs my attention, but this definitely grabs my attention.
Yeah, I think we'll give them a point for that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Now let's see if they have a microfinancing option or pay, a alternative payment method.
Yeah. Man, again, I got to go through all this. Yeah, I'm not filling all that out on air.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's just take a quick look and make sure next day shipping options.
Man, let me see if I can just put something in there.
Man, even the phone number is required.
Golly. I better click off of that. Let's see. If you guys saw that, don't be calling me. Okay.
Let's see.
Looks like this is all you got.
All right, so 0 for that. And so they got a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
You guys hear the little rotary hammer going?
Yeah. Barely, but yeah.
Well, it's good because it means he's getting some stuff done.
All right. So they got a 3 out of 5. Let's go to Justin. Here we go with the video again. This is cool.
So we just left Tony Lama. Now we're on Justin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this reminds me of the Tony Lama one, kind of. But I like this video.
Aren't they owned by the same corporation?
I believe they are. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. They probably use the same. It looks like they use the same template as well.
Yeah. Does have a search bar. We got, easy navigation here. Let's get a sale.
I'm sure they went through the same thing we did. They had a little checklist of criteria they wanted to meet.
Yeah, I'm sure. Again, generic, but these pictures, they all do stand out really well.
But even like when you go down there, I'm getting like, okay, that one right there, you got the diamond stitching in the shaft.
Like this?
That one. It gets my attention at least,
Yeah. No, I think the white background is generic, but I think it makes everything look really good.
Yeah, those 2 turquoise ones really get my attention too.
Yeah.
So it would at least let me click and kind of say, hey, that one looks pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Read into that one.
Okay, let's go back. We scroll down. This is kind of like the Ariat website where the larger pictures, I guess. Mm-hmm. Western work, apparel, accessories. What's down here? Okay, here's the About Us section.
That's cool.
This is nice. That's very cool. Yeah. Those are some really cool old photos.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I didn't see anything. Well, it looks like it was easier to find the history on the Justin.
Yeah. Website. Here is their brand. So it is Tony Lama and Nakona. Okay. They're all owned the same, as well as I didn't know Carolina Boot was too, and Chippewa.
Really? Oh wow. That's interesting.
And this is kind of cool that I guess you can go to, seeing those are links to the other websites. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I didn't know that Chippewa was owned by them too.
I didn't either. I kind of wish this was a little more pronounced up here. Just because I think that's a cool feature.
Yeah, definitely. Like maybe a larger what do you call that? Border margarine, whatever you call that.
Yeah, or maybe just a bolder font even.
Yes, exactly. Like a larger font. Yeah.
So they
Um,
don't have a customizable option, but I gotta say this is my favorite so far. I think they have a lot of really cool photos,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and they have the videos that we both like. So, but no customizable option.
No customizable. Um, Zero. And then microfinancing, it probably not, but might as well. And we don't have to fill all that in. I think that information would be at the first
Let's see.
portion of checking out.
Looks exactly the same as a Tony Lama.
Yeah. Okay.
If we go to payment,
Yeah. Yeah, they usually have it on that same page when you go to enter your stuff. So
nope.
3 out of 5.
Payment. Nope. No payment options.
Okay.
So, what does that give us?
3 out of 5, same
3
as
out
Tony
of
Lama.
5. But as far as design goes, I like this one the best so far.
Is Ariat also owned by this family, this corporation?
No.
Okay.
Ariat is its own thing.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, we're gonna switch it up a little bit now. We're gonna go to Wesco boots.
So
which they do-
Wesco Boots is a Pacific Northwest brand. They do, they're really heavy on the wildland firefighting boots. They also do a lot of, motorcycle rider boots, harness boots, engineer boots, and lots of, heritage style boots. So it's all traditionally made, handmade. The hard wood. I'm sorry, hard wood, hard leather insoles, stack leather heels, and they give you the leather sole options. So, okay. So let me get this out. So the first one is ease of navigation. Do you see a search bar?
No search bar.
Okay. I've been on this site numerous times. So
And I got to tell you, this is pretty damn boring looking.
yeah, that's one thing I was gonna say was, and a lot of people have said it about Wesco is like their website's kind of, they haven't spent much money on
Yeah.
design. So
All right. So here's another thing. The other websites, if I hovered over one of these tabs, options would come down below it.
like a
If
drop
you know what I'm
down,
saying.
like an automatic drop down.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go, let's see, custom fitting, I get that kind of explains to you. They have a little video explaining how they do their custom fits. You can even print, you see there on the bottom left, print a custom fit form.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Trace your foot and then take some measurements and send it into them. And they actually keep that on record. So anytime you go and, order another pair, you already pull up your file and they have all your stuff.
Yeah.
So stock boots. Let's go to stock boots.
Okay.
So this is it's a very small offering. It's like what, eight different, and this is basically like their platforms. And I'm just explaining it to you guys because it looks like what 4 boots they have or 8 boots to choose from. Well, if you go and say the Mr. Lose is an average, engineer style boot, and then they give you. So those are 3 ones. Those are basically their basic options that are, it shows every single little kind of detail of it.
Right.
And then so you see the pricing. The black is 800. The other one's 659. The other ones, and the other two are 659. And those are cowhide, chrome XL, so they're a chrome tan leather. Those are, I think they're going to be Horween leather. So out of I don't know where Horween is, but I think it's back east somewhere. But the thing is, they do very good work.
What's the difference? Why is the black one $150 more?
That's a good question. Oh well, this is a Merriam black horsehide leather. That's why.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, just
Okay.
the
All
other
right.
two are going to be a cowhide, so that's probably the only reason. I think that's the only thing too, other than the hardware of the buckles there.
Yeah.
Everything else.
I'll go ahead and say it. I mean, I totally missed that. This font. I mean, I'm on a large monitor here, and that's
Yeah,
really small.
definitely. Yeah.
So they could improve on that as well. Can we look at custom boots?
Definitely.
Okay.
So there's the other, like I was saying, the basic platforms you can
Right.
choose from.
This is the starting template.
Yeah. So if you go, we would probably look for like a most Western style, right? So I would probably choose the Morrison right there.
Okay.
Build your Morrison boot.
Okay.
So you start, if you look on the left side, that bar, it shows you'll start with the basic boot, then the leather and straps, then the lining, then the soles. Then you can choose which color. And it also gives you the option of each color that you choose. You can choose the finish side or the rough side, which is pretty cool, I think. And you see how I was telling you about other websites? It gives you like a digital rendition, which it kind of limits your imagination. You know what I mean? Like you really have to have imagination to see. Like they give you a tiny digital swatch, and it's like, well, how does it look in
And I'll tell you this. I give this a negative on ease of navigation because I was sitting here clicking this, but it's actually this tiny little drop down.
Okay.
So let's just go.
Navigation 0.
What?
Do they have a search bar? I didn't even notice. I don't think they have a search bar. That's interesting. 0.
No, they do not have a search bar. Okay, so I'm changing all of these and it doesn't change the digital. Well, that did. Let's see. Let's go just black. See these two. Okay, so pull strap. What is the backstay?
Is going to be like that back strap that comes up.
Oh, okay, right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Counter. Let's do the counter black. And the strap black. Okay. I was seeing it was working. That's such a small little area. I didn't see it.
Right. And it's charcoal to black, so it's not really popping.
Right.
So then if you go to apply.
So I like all of the options for sure, but it's not as easy to navigate as some of these other.
Right. And as you can see, the price increases depending on like some options don't cost any extra money. You know, standard option.
And this digital image, is still better than a ton of other websites out there that don't have anything, but it's not as good as the Lucchese one.
Yeah, definitely. But I think there's kind of a compromise because with the Lucchese, it looks like they failed to take a photo of every single option available.
They did. And not only that, there weren't many options to choose from.
Right. Whereas the digital option, obviously it's easier to upload that little swatch, a digital swatch, and they just patch it in, scab it in or whatever. And it's more consistent with your exact order. but
Right.
the digital rendition it just lacks a little bit in the like the realism, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So
Lining soles.
how do you
And
go back? Go ahead.
oh, I forget what I was gonna say.
I was sitting
um,
here. I was going to go back to the home page, but you can't.
um,
Oh, here we go. Look at this. You can
return to
barely even
main.
see that.
Does it work when you click on it?
It does.
Okay. Because I know you can choose your heel height. You can choose
Yeah.
different soles. Like you can choose a lug sole, or you can just go straight leather.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It looked like, I mean, it was every single piece of it was
yeah, and you can
customizable.
actually choose your stitching color too, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
So, like how I noticed, like Rios or Lucchese, they have contrast stitching on some of their boots, which look very
Yeah.
attractive. So that's something you could do there. The only thing I noticed that you can't really do any custom. Uh, there's no really uh, like how cowboy boots, they'll give you patterns, stitch patterns, or even
Right.
piping on the or cording on the shaft.
Uh-huh.
Well, they don't give you any options like that on this because it's more utilitarian, and I guess the Pacific Northwestern is, it's a different tradition.
Right.
So
So they do have a nice assortment of accessories here. Like they got the false tongues like you make.
yeah, yeah. They have leather insoles also that you can buy for like any boot that you have, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
that
have to
is.
say, so I went to Boot Hunter, and we do this thing where we visit each other once a year, and we'll swap boots. We'll like I'll trade you these two, and I'll take these two, and we'll wear them and kind of just
Yeah.
share for our audience the boots. And so I got a pair of boots, a pair of Wescos that I lent him about a year ago, and I got them back, and I noticed that under the sole, like it comes with the leather sole, and you can pull it out no problem. And because they haven't been worn, like I lent them to him, but he didn't wear them, so they just sat on his shelf looking pretty. So as soon as I got them, I put them on. I was like, let's, when we were at his house, I just put them on. I was like, yeah, I couldn't wait. Glad I got my boots back. And I took the soles out just to give me some more room because they I guess they shrunk a little bit from sitting. And I started feeling like a prick under my, like the pad of my big foot or my big toe. Well, I took it out and I started put my finger in there, and there's a clench nail that wasn't all the way curled back. It's like sticking up a little bit.
Oh wow.
So after I took it off, and I was like, oh man, that sucks. So I'm gonna have to address that eventually because they're really comfortable boots, but that part not so much.
Yeah. Will they take care of that? I mean, since
They
they're
Yeah, I know for a fact that they would. It's just paying for shipping.
yeah.
I can go to like a boot shop or a cobbler out here and have them throw it on their metal shoe last, and kind of they just have to give it a few pounds.
Yeah.
But I think I'll try something with like a piece of wood and maybe a soft mallet. Try to go
Yeah.
through the toe box.
Yeah.
That does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they let's see, what was the options? That I know for a fact that they don't have microfinancing, but how about, let's see, go to the discounted items. Go to the discount, because that's really interesting. You'll find lots of custom built ordered boots, and whatever the case is, they have it completely. They have a full transparency of like the reason for their return or their reduced price.
Yeah.
You see, like right there, additional comments: cut in linings of both boots, vamps and counters, rough out leather, else green side, 2 top straps cut 2 inches longer. So they have full transparency, which is pretty nice. You know what to
Yeah.
look for.
Yeah.
But if you go to like Red Wing Heritage Boots or just any Red Wings, and you go buy some of their seconds, they just have hole punched in the tongue, just
Yeah.
kind of to show that they're seconds, but they don't tell you anything. You kind of have to.
Yeah. That's like the Resistol Stetson hat factory is right by my house. And I try to buy all my hats there just because if you go enough, you can find some really good deals.
Yeah.
Some days you go and there's nothing in there you even would consider buying because it's so messed up.
Right. Right.
But it's same thing. They don't tell you what's wrong with it. They
Yeah.
just on the leather hat band they do a hole punch in it.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So if
So
you look, so on the top you have the drop down bars, so you can choose your styles, you can choose your size range,
okay.
um, and then so you can choose like the from your bottom of your the lower smaller end of your spectrum to the larger end of your spectrum.
Yeah.
So 11D through what 12D or something, you know what I mean? Um, or 11, yeah, anyone, and then you go to search and it'll kind of narrow the results. Um, did you click search?
I did. For some
Oh,
reason, it's
okay.
taken a little bit, but
All right,
okay.
so you can see there's only what 5 options,
Yeah.
5 boots there, but you can actually on the right it shows picture, and you can click to see the photo of the boot.
Oh, okay.
And I think most of the times they'll even do a close up of the trouble area,
Yeah. Here we go.
which is very
Right
nice.
there,
Yeah,
which isn't that bad, really,
it really isn't because
for
if you think
saving that
about
much
it.
money. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. And I've bought a pair from them this exact way, and it was a similar thing. It was just above like the welt stitching. There was like some cutting. So like maybe the machining was like the specs were off a little bit,
yeah.
and they kind of made some cuts, but it didn't affect the quality or the.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in the market, I would totally buy this because
Yeah.
I mean, these aren't the kind of boots you're going to baby
Yeah,
anyway. You
exactly.
know.
Yeah, those are definitely meant to just be worn and
Yeah.
thrashed.
So, I mean, you can barely even see that. If you're wearing it, nobody would ever see that.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's cool. Let's
Put
look at
some
this one.
acrylic paint in there and it'll disappear.
Not saying I have to log in. That's weird.
I think you went add to cart.
Oh, I see. I'm clicking the wrong thing.
Yeah, no, I've done that hundreds of times. Seriously, yeah. So it shows a little bit with the stitching there. The double row stitching. That's not
Oh,
very.
I see. It like came together right here.
And it like separates and almost crosses over. So those are. I think that's nice that they do that. The full
Yeah, I
transparency.
totally agree. This one has only got the one picture.
And it also shows that they have a decent quality control. They're not just pushing stuff out the door to the customer.
Right.
I'm sure there's some that get returned, but I'm sure that quality control, like, well, this is going to go in their discounted, section, which sucks because now we have to make another one. But that's all part of it.
Look at this. This one's just got this little mark right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then on the back, what does it say?
Oh, it looks like on the top, where that the heel counter goes up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Understandable.
Still
And
not that bad.
of course. And it's like most of the things, they're not going to affect the integrity of the foot of the
Yeah.
shoe. It's just an aesthetic thing.
Look at that. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that was a scuff that they tried to cover and kind of finish with some paint, or
Yeah.
or it was like a loose grain area of the hide there.
Yeah.
But it's nice that they do that because you're not surprised when you get them.
Yeah.
Which is
and it's nice that we looked at them. I mean, they're heavily discounted, but they're not $25 either. So
yeah.
when we looked at them, it was nice that the screw ups weren't something that's going to make the boot useless. You know what I mean? Or that you think, well, it's going to break down in 6 months.
Yeah, and the good thing about them, with most boots that are welted, is you can get that. Like if you get it and the stitching is all screwed up, well, it's like, I'll buy these.
Yeah.
And can you guys just keep them and charge me for a resole on them, because those are exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
They'll do
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, that wraps it up. What do you think? What's the score on Wesco?
Let's see. So ease of navigation, although it wasn't easy, I'll say it was pretty, like, you can get into the small details. Yeah, I think you just have to take your time.
Yeah.
Um,
It doesn't jump out at you what you're supposed to do.
yeah, yeah, you kind of have to
I'll
read.
give it a half a point.
Okay. All right. So we'll go 0.5. What was the other one? They have a search bar.
They do not have a search bar.
No search bar. Okay.
Not on the main page. I mean, when you get into the different tabs, well, at least on some of it, nope.
Yeah, no. Wow.
Discounted items, you can get into, once you go in there, there's search bars.
Yeah, but it's not like from the home page. I think that's the
Mm-mm.
main thing for a
And
search
it's
bar.
and it's not really a search bar, it's just drop downs.
Yeah, it's basically a filter.
Yeah, so
So
zero
no
on that.
custom build
Nothing,
options. Yes.
yes. Nothing stood out to me when we clicked on this website.
Go to add to cart and see if they've updated anything with payment.
I gotta log in.
Oh,
I'd have to create a login. I don't want to do that.
yeah. So let's.
Do you have one? Well, you're not at your computer.
I do, but yeah, no, it's okay. We'll just give them a 0 because it's.
Yeah. I think you said you already knew they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Then see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then did you have any boots that appealed to you throughout the search?
Yeah, but nothing jumped out at me.
Yeah, like you had
You know
to
what I
look.
mean?
For
It doesn't have the fancy videos and pictures and everything that the other websites did.
Right. Right. Yes.
I mean, yeah, once I got in there and was looking, I mean, almost all of them I would wear happily. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's like you have to know what you're looking for.
yeah, you
know.
kind of have to dig into it a little bit.
If I would say if this is your first time searching for a Pacific Northwest boots brand, you'd probably be a little overwhelmed. You're probably like, nah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, if I was in the market, I'd be calling you going, hey, what do I do?
Right.
There's so many options.
1.5 out of 5. So they have, but I got to say, they do have great quality boots.
Sure.
It's just that their website doesn't tell you, doesn't show you.
Yeah. Now, we're not talking about the companies here. We're just going right off the website. Does it work or does it need work?
Right.
Yeah.
So we got a 1.5 out of 5, the lowest score.
Why don't we run down the total scores of them all again, and then we'll wrap this up.
So we started with Lucchese. They got a 4 out of 5. They have. Let me move my computer so you can see. Okay. 4 out of 5. So they do have ease of navigation. Yes. They do have a search bar. They do have custom build option. They do not have microfinancing available. And we did have. I mean, honestly, I'm looking. Obviously, I'm not looking for women's boots, but that women's boot, the rainbow colored one, it was attractive. I liked it. So it's like,
I agree.
Good looking. So, and the ones right next to it also. So so they got a 4 out of 5 for that.
Okay.
The next one was Ariat.
Yeah.
Ariat, they got a total of 3 out of 5. So ease of navigation. They have they have a search bar. No custom build options, but they did have the microfinancing option, which is pretty good, especially for the younger people that it's you've got your paycheck, but you're on a budget, so that's good for people like that.
Well, hell, I know you and I both have utilized that before.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And we all talk about it in the like the community, the boot communities. Like the Tacovas and even the Chizos communities. A lot of folks are talking about that. Yeah. So that's good to provide that, and I do provide that on my website too. I have a few different third party people.
And I'd like to mention, just because he's kind of a buddy, but JW Boot Company has added, I think Sezzle is the one.
Oh, that's good.
But he added a payment option.
That's nice.
Yeah. So
I'll have to check that one out then. Yeah, head on over to JW.
Yeah.
And then the last one was I didn't see anything in the area that kind of really appealed to me, but did you?
I liked the that opening photo of the girl in the car with the American flag, but it didn't have
Yeah.
anything to do with boots.
Yeah,
So I'm going
true.
to agree with you.
Okay, so yeah, they got a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Next was Tony Lama. They had 3 out of 5 as well. They did have ease of navigation, pretty simple because it was very vanilla and very,
Hmm.
just very generic and an easy template, which I'm sure they've done studies and they're like, choose these if you want your websites to be running smoothly and you want people to convert. You want your conversion rates to be up there, make it easy for
Yeah.
the shoppers. So they choose a very simple template. The Justin and Tony Lama, they both had the same exact score, 3 out of 5. They both had ease of navigation. They both had a search bar. They did not have any custom build options. They did not have microfinancing or alternative payment methods. But they both had, some photos of some decent looking boots that were like, from the home
Yeah.
screen that you're like, hey,
They
let me
had those
click on
cool
that. Yeah.
videos too.
Yeah. And the videos are entertaining. So they
Yeah.
kind of they
Yeah.
keep your interests
Yeah.
at a good level. So it's not a turn off. And then obviously Wesco. Um, you really have to know the brand to
Yeah.
really even want to spend your time there or actually hear some of the word of mouth that's going around on social media to really want to spend the time to shop for something because it's really not appealing. And those are from the first time I went on their website, that's one of the main things was like, what the hell? You
Yeah.
have to learn. You got to be there, go on that website a few times to learn how to navigate it.
Yeah.
And so
I agree.
that I'm sure that does hurt their sales. But they do a lot of boot making for like the wildland firefighting service and EMTs,
Yes.
EMS services. So they do a lot of that stuff. But as far as the lifestyle type of footwear, they're lacking a little bit just in their main their interface.
Yeah. I agree.
They could really.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to like the boots I'm wearing today, the Knicks, if you go to Knicks handmade boots, they're a little bit better. However, if you go to the custom build option, they don't give you that digital rendering,
Okay.
which Wesco, it's good enough. Their digital rendering
Yeah.
is good enough. You kind of get an idea of what you're doing. But Knicks, they definitely have an actual like a catalog of boots that you can look through, which is quite a bit easier to navigate, a little bit easier for like a first time boot shopper. So
Yeah.
um but obviously we didn't do them. So good job, Lucchese. I mean, they got the
Yep.
highest score.
Yep.
Um
Yep. They won
which makes sense. If you're charging $2,000 for a pair of
for a pair of
boots, you should be
ostrich.
able to afford to
Yeah.
pay someone to run your site.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you for everybody who watched and everybody who's watching the playback.
Yeah.
Thanks, Angel. Appreciate you joining with me,
Yeah,
man.
that was fun, man. If
Yep.
maybe we can get together and do something similar like this, user interfaces, either
Yeah.
websites or
Social
something,
media.
maybe their social media,
Yeah.
their shoppability on social media. That's
Yeah.
something that we
Yeah.
could
We
look
can look
into.
into that.
Cool,
All
man.
right. Well, we will see you guys next week. Same time, same channel. Y'all take it easy.
See you guys.
All right. Yeah, that was cool, man.